Hi everyone and welcome back to the YouTube channel. So today we're going to talk about your website, your therapy website, and why your therapy website is losing your clients. So if you are a therapist and you want a website that actually brings in the right clients in 2026 and beyond, then this video is your blueprint because the internet has changed a lot, as you already know. People don't read websites the way they used to, and Google is showing more AI summaries and fewer clicks are guaranteed. And clients are more cautious. They are scanning for safety, fit, and credibility as well. So the best therapist website in 2026 is not the prettiest website. It's the website that creates clarity and trust in under 30 seconds and makes the next step feel simple and safe as well. So in this video, I will show you the exact structure I would recommend you to make. So what pages you need, what to write, what to avoid, and how to make your website faster, more visible locally, and more conversion friendly without becoming a full-time marketer. So, little quick note, this is educational, not legal advice. Always align your website with your local professional rules and privacy requirements. So there is a huge shift in 2026, and it's the fact that your website must work for humans and for AI as well. So your website now has two audiences at the same time: a human who is anxious, unsure, and scanning fast, and search systems that try to decide if you are relevant and trustworthy as well. So Google's own guidance is basically create helpful, reliable, people first content, and yes, AI can be used, but the goal is still usefulness and trust and not mass producing generic text. So 2026 proof means you make your expertise easy to understand, you make your practice easy to verify, and you make the next step easy to take. And that's really the whole game. So let's explore the 30 seconds rule. So if someone lands on your website, they should instantly be able to answer three questions. Am I in the right place? Do I feel safe with this person? And what do I do next? So most therapist websites fail because they lead with the therapist biography, training, identity, and then they bury the client. So in 2026, your homepage needs to be a client-oriented orientation page. So open your homepage and look at the top of the page, the first screen before scrolling. So your top section should include a clear who I help, plus what I help with, plus where or how statement. So you can describe who you help by describing their lived experiences, their problem situation, then who you help, what you help with, and what is your process, so where, how statement. And then immediately underneath, you can add a short feed bridge, something like you don't need to be in crisis to start. If you are looking for a calm space to understand what's happening and choose your next steps, you are in the right place. And then one clear next step button, only one. So check availability, book a first conversation, book a free call, or email me, etc. Just one button, just one primary action, one simple step to take. So now the next part of your homepage is what I call the trust stack. So not hype, not promises, but just uncertainty reducers. So the objective of your website is to reduce friction. So that includes your professional registration credentials, the therapy modalities you use, what sessions look like, practical info, boundaries, and even some Google Business Profile reviews, for example, so some testimonials. So this is really what makes people feel safe. So you don't need many pages in 2026 and beyond to craft a great website. As you sometimes may see on the internet, sometimes there are people advising for many and many different pages, many different colors. All of those things are useless. You just need a few strong pages in 2026. So you need a home page with that leads to orientation plus trust plus a next step, a simple next step, the call to action as we call it. You need service pages that match real searches, so not one vague page called therapy, but pages like anxiety therapy in Paris, burnout support for professionals, couples therapy. So each page should be generally helpful and specific, not copied templates. But if you are offering just one service, well, you will only have one page for that service. And if you are offering different services, you can have a page that briefly describes your different services and then one page for one service. So always a page should only have one role and one theme if you want. And then you need a how it works page. So explain the process simply, who is for, what the first session is, how often, online, in person, fees, how to book. So this page often converts more than your about page because you are explaining to your potential client what are the steps in your work. So it's really important because it will produce some predictability for your clients, and they will, and as you know, the unknown is scary. So by doing that, you are reducing as much friction as possible. Then the about page, but written for the client. So your about page is not your CV, but it's something like that. Here is how I work, what I value, and who tends to be a good fit. And then you need a contact or booking page that removes friction. So with clear options like booking link or contact form, what happens after they message you, expected response time, and emergency boundaries. And then if you really want extra credit, you can have a FAQ page, and this helps both clients and search visibility as well. So what you can usually skip, long blog posts, that no one reads, pages full of jargon, and as seen in type credibility theater use unless it's real or relevant. So if you only need to do one thing, then you will make your core pages unskimmably clear. So for most therapists, the highest return on investment is local. So which means your website should be tightly connected to your city or region signals and your Google business profile where applicable. Because local search is still one of the clearest forms of intent. Someone is actively looking for help nearby. So on your website, you should add your city in the right places, in a nature way, embedded map if appropriate, consistent name, address, phone details when needed, and clear service area statement if you work online. That's also important, particularly if you are working online and in person as well. So if you have a physical practice, your Google business profile matters a lot for credibility and local discovery. So it's why having an appropriate Google business profile that is complete and crystal clear with many reviews will really help you to attract many potential clients. So let's talk now about performance because it's really important. So your website can be beautiful, but if it is slow, then people will leave. So Google's core web vitals now include INP as the responsiveness metric and it replaced the FID. So in normal words, your site should feel instant and smooth where people tap, scroll, and click. So there are little practical fixes that you can do. You can compress images, avoid heavy themes and giant sliders, keep fonts simple, and don't overload the homepage with 12 widgets. Those are little tips, but it will really increase the speed of your website. And always optimize your website for mobile, because nowadays, in general, many people are exploring websites and Google on their phone. So you really need to optimize your website for the mobile version. So speed isn't just SEO, search engine optimization, but speed is emotional safety as well. So in Europe, your website needs to respect privacy and consent culture. So if you use analytics, and you should use analytics like pixels, embedded tools, you need to treat consent seriously, especially for non-essential cookies. So keep forms formal, ask only what you truly need, and be explicit about how data is used. So I said keep formal and minimal. So just ask for the least amount of informations in your forms. Concerning cookies and consent in general, website platforms integrate those, so you don't have to worry about them. But it's something that we must talk about because it's really important, particularly in Europe. So this isn't just compliance, but again, it's trust. So one of the biggest, if not the biggest mistake is trying to sound professional instead of trying to be understood and providing the next simple step. So clients don't choose the most academic therapist, but they choose the therapist who makes them feel seen, safe, and clear on the next step. So write like a human. Use your potential client's language. Short sentences, explain words, describe their lived experiences, give examples, use headings that answer real questions. So this is really exactly what Google also says it wants. Helpful, reliable, people-first content, and providing value. You must write things on your website, and we must write things on your website where people, when they will see your websites, they will tell themselves, oh yeah, I really feel what this therapist is writing on his or her website. I am recognizing myself in those words. Oh yeah, this therapist is actually understanding me. So it's really important to make a website in a way that it is understandable and recognizable with your potential client. So if you want the best therapist website in 2026 and beyond, then make the homepage pass the 30-second rule, create service pages that match real client searches, build a trust stack that reduces uncertainty without making promises, make the next step simple with one clear call to action, one clear next step, connect your website to local signals and credibility, make it fast and accessible, particularly on mobile version, and keep privacy and consent clean. And that's really the blueprint. You don't need hundreds and dozens of pages to make an efficient website. If you need to remember one thing from this lesson, just make a website that will be recognizable by your clients. When they will see the words that you are using, they will tell themselves, sorry, that yeah, this therapist understands me. I am feeling what he is saying. So it's really important if you want to attract your potential client. And to know their lived experiences, their problem situations, their languages, you must understand your niche. It's why it's really important to have a niche. You need to understand your client avatar, as we call it in marketing. But the concept is this: you need to understand your potential client. So if you want to join a free community and meet other therapists and coaches like you, then you can join my free group on Facebook, the Therapist Cafe, where we will talk about sales ethics, about marketing, and many other topics. So we will see each other for our next video, and I wish you a good day. Goodbye.